The new Minecraft 1.20 update brings us sexy bamboo blocks. Why did I say that? That sounds weird as fuck. But imagine that Mojang decides to add a new bamboo village. And the first question is why? As you probably know, there are a bunch of different villages like the Plains village, the Desert village, the Taiga village, also that one, yeah, and that one. Let's not forget. And they all have something in common. And yes, you are right, the villagers are not naked.
Yo, what the heck, man?
So they have clothes. Actually, different clothes. Every village type has a different villager, which allows races, cultural diversity. So we have 5 different villages and obviously 5 different villagers' clothes. Actually, we have 7. We also have the jungle and the swamp villager, and they are both homeless. Another reason why the bamboo village would make sense is because when Mojang revealed the new update, they showed bamboo structures, probably just to showcase the new blocks, but let me believe it was for a new village. And the last reason is that I made a video about the cherry blossom village that got a lot of views and I want to milk the coin. And you guys asked me to do a bamboo village and that's a great idea. So the next question, where? In the bamboo jungle. That's pretty much it. And now, how? To build a bamboo village in the most Mojang style, I decided to analyze the structure that they showed us by building them. So let's start. The first structure is a small bamboo shack that looks actually really cool, and building it was very simple. As we can see, there is a small balcony and an elevation from the floor, which might be important. To be honest, it looks really decent for a Mojang build. The next one is pretty much the same, just a bamboo shack by the water, but there is some unique details that are very important here. Like the vines that make us think about the fact that the jungle village could be the same thing as a bamboo village. Another thing that we can see is the interior and the style being very similar to the other shack. But that's it. Next one. So this house actually remembers us of the usual Plains village style, like we have that standard triangular roof. But this time there is also a balcony. These guys really like balconies. This time the house was a lot bigger, but I think this is not the style that I'm going for. The next build that Mojang showed us had a peculiar shape. It was a round house in a square game, what the heck? But this actually makes sense. Let me explain why. If you search by bamboo shack in Google, it appears a fast food restaurant. Wait, it's actually supposed to appear a shack like this, and as you can see, this style also exists and the shape is round and the roof is made out of a plant, in our case bamboo. This time the house was hard to build because that roof was a total mess, just like my bedroom. Oh, I really need to clean this. But playing Minecraft is more important, and we have another house that we might take ideas to make our village. The next house is probably my favorite, and what it makes it so unique is the fact that they used mangrove wood. We can see that if we use another color, the houses of the village will look much better. But the question is, does it make sense using mangrove wood in a jungle bamboo village? We will discuss that later. So Mojang showed us a bunch of different houses while announcing the new update, and we are going to use this as an inspiration to build a village. Also, there were other houses using different blocks, but I think they don't look that good. And now it's time to create a unique sexy style for our village. Why do I keep using that word? So, on my other video I placed every village structure in a flat world to transform them, but this time I don't think that will work, because the style of the houses is very different from the Plains village. Wait, from the Plains village? There is other village styles. My next step was to find what village would fit the most with the Mojang bamboo style, and the answer to that is the Savannah village. In Minecraft there is a command that you can use to spawn structures, including villages, so I used that to create a Savannah village that I will transform to the bamboo version of it. You can also see that some of the structures are extremely similar to the shacks that we were building before, which is literally perfect. Some of the structures were missing, so I used the wiki to see them all. I got carried away and I made a villager city, and yeah, that looks cool. And now the next step is to design a single house and choose a style for our village. I want this style to be a mix of the shacks that we saw before with the normal savannah houses. Doing this was not that hard because both of the styles are very similar, or at least that's what I was thinking, because this took over 2 hours of placing and destroying blocks. I tried so many different things, I even spawned pandas to inspire me, but everything didn't feel vanilla enough. After a while, something was starting to look cool. I noticed that if I made the houses look clean, like without any major details, it looked better. That's probably because the jungle is already a mess, so it's better to leave the structure simple, like Mojang would do. I tried to add more things, but I don't think it did work. I just spent hours to do something so simple, but I think we can start doing the village. Alright, I just found a place to build the village. It doesn't look that crowded like the jungle, so it's perfect. Oh god, I'm quite scared to start doing something because it's a mess. This is all a mess. Now it's time to clean a little the area because we need space for our structures. You are probably asking, why I don't use commands, it's much faster. Well, because it's a lot funnier doing everything by hand. Actually, it's because this is a snapshot and I don't have a lot of commands. So I think this is it. It really looks like a plains biome. It is a plains biome. I'm so stupid. Fuck! I could also put everything on fire. Why didn't I remember this before? Now that we got space, it's finally time to build our first structure, that little small house. This time was a lot faster. I spent like 5 minutes doing it. But now we have a little house and this looks very empty. But at least the color and the style is perfect. I also decided to make the village path with podzol, and trust me on this one, at the end it will look better. I also duplicated this build once because it's a normal thing to find more than one small house in a regular village. Now it's time to create more structures with exactly the same style. The next one is supposed to be a bigger house that can be used for any villager profession. Now that things were starting to get done a lot faster, I was getting excited. I just wanted to finish the village to see how it looked like. I don't even care about planning anymore, and now it's time to mine and craft finally. And we have another house. I'm starting to imagine a village. Oh, this is great. You guys are going to love the next build. Every village has a bell in the center and with it a random structure. I wanted to make a temple in the middle, so I made a mini jungle temple. I know that Mojang would not do something like this, but it looks cool. Nah, I'm a genius. I made a structure for it to fit the style of the other buildings, and nah, this looks hilarious, what the heck. Yo, mini jungle temple, let's go. So, more houses, this is going to look amazing. The next house is supposed to be the biggest one, like I wanted to have a tall house like every village has. This time it took a while to build it because I didn't plan it anything and I wanted it to look perfect. I think this is it, and nah, that fits perfectly in the village. We have another house, but we need more. Yo, what are you doing there? What? Where are you going? The village is there. Is this a glitch? It literally started in the village and keeps going. It doesn't stop. But now it's time to work on something different. Our village was missing an animal pen, and this village has a really nice one. We just need to make it, but with the jungle materials. This should be easy. Let's add a bunch of poop, make a decent jungle roof, give some water and food to the animals, and it's done. We can also starting to add some trees to make it less empty. Talking about trees, we need a tree house. There is no other way. I want this house to look simple but nice. I want it to look really nice. We are on a jungle, of course we need to have a tree house. To be honest, I was getting comfortable building with this style, so it was not that hard to create another structure. Nah, I'm in love with this. This is starting to look amazing, and this is not even done. It's still missing a lot of details. I decided to build another treehouse because it looked amazing and it made the village more complete and alive. Of course, this was a fast build to make because it's literally the same thing, it's just copying and pasting. This is starting to finally look complete, but I think we can also create another small house. And that's exactly what I'm going to do, one house that is similar but different. I think this is enough for the structures, and now it's time for the details. I wanted to design a light post, but everything feels too much for a jungle village. I'm just going to place a fence and a lantern. Mojang would do probably this. To increase the level of details, we also need farms, right? So just melon farms everywhere. And now it's time to make it feel like an actual jungle and just place plants everywhere. First, we do bone meal. Next, we remove the flowers. And now we add fern everywhere because it adds a nice texture to the forest. We also need to add a bunch of those small and weird bushes that you see in the jungle. Instead of hay bales, you can find a bunch of melons in this village. But like a bunch of useless melons. And now the most important part, we need bamboo absolutely everywhere. And now magic happens and you can see the village starting to belong to the jungle. We actually need more podzol and more bamboo, it's not enough. Is this good enough? I think it needs more trees, right? How could I forget we still need the annoying villagers? And they need beds to sleep. And now it might be time for a showcase. I will not adding more trees or bamboo for you to have a clear view of the structures, but if this was randomly generated by the game, everything would feel more close and crowded. And here we have the butcher's houses, and that's it. I don't know how to do showcases. Maybe you should watch the entire video without skipping. And here we have the first small house that looks really nice, and on the inside just a simple bed and a chest. The other small house is this one, and it's a little bigger on the inside, so it could belong to a villager profession. The central piece of the village is a mini jungle temple, don't ask why, but there is a bell. We also have the big house that could belong to a cleric, like the tower in the villages. We have now my favorite, the tree house, and we are on a jungle, that's why I made it. it. To be honest, this is not very villager friendly, but it looks cool. We also have an open animal pen for pandas to relax a little. I think this village looks awesome, but it should have more bamboo and trees, to be honest. I just want you to have a clear view of the buildings. This is just an idea, so it's not perfect, and your opinion is very important. So what do you think, boys? From a scale 1 to 10, I will rate it a 7.